Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now. This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. We start with live breaking news. Police are investigating a stabbing that occurred at 81 Forest Avenue. That's Pheasant, Lalmer, and D'Angelo's law firm Tuesday morning. Now, first responders were called to the scene shortly after 10 a.m. to a report of a person stabbed in the driveway. City of Jamestown crime scene investigators and Jamestown police detectives were on scene as of 10:30. This is video shot just moments ago. Now, Jamestown fire crews were called there to clean up blood at around 11:30. We, of course, will continue to update our reporting and bring the absolute latest at WNYNewsNow.com. Now we want to turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who is standing by with a first look at our weather this afternoon. Hey, Dakota.
Hi, Justin, and happy Tuesday, everybody. And we had some rain this morning. As we told you about yesterday, it was right on cue. All of it has now started to move out to the east, but there will be the chance for a few more scattered showers throughout the early afternoon. Otherwise, I think we'll see some partial sunshine. 67 over 66 was where we were yesterday. Notice the temperature only dipped off 1 degree from our high, from our low, and that has to do with the dew point. Again, the temperature can never fall below the dew point. That's not how science works. So, and again, the record high for today is 91, set in 91. No, we have no chance of breaking that, and we've gauged 0.15 of an inch of rain over the past 24 hours officially at the airport. These were the peak wind gusts from yesterday. 33 at the Dunkirk Airport, 21 at the Jamestown Airport, and the winds will still remain a little breezy today. So hour by hour temperatures into the lower to mid 70s through the day. There's that scattered rain chance mainly between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. Otherwise, we'll see some partial sunshine with some clouds and mixing, but the humidity is up there. When we see a break from the when will we see a break from the humidity? Plus the Labor Day forecast with a 7-day later in the show. Justin?
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you. And again, we'll take you back to that scene there on Forest Avenue as police are investigating a stabbing that they say occurred early Wednesday morning. We get our information from Chautauqua County Dispatch, who sent an ambulance to the scene earlier this morning. Fire crews again were called, if you're just joining us, there to clean up some remnants of that crime. And police are still very much on scene investigating. Now, our reporter is telling me that they did speak to one woman who lived in the neighborhood. She was on her way back from Walgreens when she first saw the police activity. They originally had much of Forest Avenue closed. That's near 81 Forest Avenue, near the Pheasant, Lalmer, and D'Angelo law firm. Police were called there at about 10 a.m. And detectives remain on scene. Now, there's still so many unanswered questions in this case as to, specifically who was this victim. Was there one victim? We know right now that at least one person was stabbed, but we don't know too much about that or about the possible suspect in this case as well. Police have not released any details, but that they certainly are on scene with the crime scene units working to learn more about this, and we'll continue to update our reporting as we get more throughout the day on WNY News Now. You can stay in the know by downloading our mobile app.
This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
And we have more live breaking news to tell you about. A Village of Sinclairville man is facing several charges after the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says he set a fire that destroyed a house, leaving a DeWittville family homeless. 27-year-old Fletcher Walters III is charged with felony second-degree arson. Now, deputies said 2 adults and 2 children escaped the house without injuries after fire broke out late Sunday at 5728 Centralia Hartfield Road. Chautauqua County Sheriff's deputies, while responding to a harassment call nearby, initially noticed the fire and called in crews. DeWittville firefighters were assisted by 9 other departments while battling that blaze. Now, deputies say Walters was arraigned and remanded to Chautauqua County Jail on $150,000 cash bail, $300,000 property bond. And our top story, a city of Jamestown man is behind bars after police say he choked a 9-year-old boy during a struggle at 14 Cedar Avenue. That happened Monday. Jamestown police say 51-year-old Jesse Waite Jr. was drunk when he pinned down the 9-year-old before punching him in the face and choking him. Now, police said an 18-year-old male who attempted to intervene in that altercation was also allegedly pinned down and choked by Waite. Waite then allegedly pushed his fingers into that teen's eye sockets and punched him in the face. Police said this all happened in front of a 5-year-old girl. Waite was arrested and taken to Jamestown City Jail. He faces a number of charges. Police say that 9-year-old and 18-year-old were treated for their injuries at the scene. And 3 Gary residents are facing endangering the welfare of a child charges after New York State police say they found their home in deplorable state with unlivable conditions over the weekend. Troopers say they responded to a report of a child hanging out of a second-story window Saturday. Police said the child told them he was leaning out the window to look at a bird, and after confirming that he was uninjured, the child and the other children in the house were turned over to a relative pending further investigation by Child Protective Services. The adults in the home, 32-year-old Nikki Colson and 24-year-old Jacob Atwell and 37-year-old Benjamin Frost, were all charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Troopers said Atwell and Colson were previously arrested in May for a nearly identical incident when troopers checked the welfare of the toddler at a Route 60 home, resulting in the discovery of unlivable conditions there. All 3 of them are scheduled to appear in the town of Gary Court later this month. And Congressman Tom Reed is calling for a Department of Justice investigation into New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo after a letter to the U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr was released to the media yesterday. Reed says Tuesday's call for an investigation follows Governor Andrew Cuomo's recent statements concerning his decision not to repair the New York State Thruway and the Seneca Nation, and putting the traveling public at risk because of an unrelated political dispute over gaming revenue. The congressman says motorists have reached out to his office in recent weeks expressing their own concern with I-90 road conditions through the Seneca Nation.
When you see the governor's public comments saying that we are using an unrelated political situation in order to withhold the repair of that road, that to me demonstrates an abuse of discretion on its face.
Now, Reed says he wants prosecutors to figure out what the state is doing with more than $10 million in federal money that he says has been allocated to that very highway. Now, on Tuesdays, Cuomo's seniors advisors are calling it a cheap stunt. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office did not immediately respond to our request for comment. Well, hopefully you all are doing well, and thanks so much for joining us here on WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our Matt Hummel is off this afternoon. Got to say hello to Renee. Thanks so much for tuning in. David, hello to you. He says, wow, this town is getting crazy. Certainly is a crazy news day. That's not deniable. Corey, good afternoon. Amanda, Tabby, good afternoon to you. Lori, Joshua, Wanda is still here, and Corey has joined us. Hopefully you all are doing well. Our breaking news top story today is the stabbing there on Forest Avenue. Police are still on scene trying to, in fact, it looks like right now fire crews are cleaning up that scene. And trying to figure out specifically what happened. What we know is that this morning officers were called to a reported stabbing there near the Pheasant Llama in D'Angelo driveway entrance. Police, our reporters telling us now that police were examining a woman on scene, but we're not 100% sure if that's related, and nevertheless, WNY News Now does not report specifically on victims. But certainly crews are working that, and it looks like Forest Avenue now has reopened. That was closed for quite a few hours. And we'll continue to probe this and let you know when police give us an update on this case, and we'll bring it to you live right here on WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. And coming up, more news, what we know about a car crash involving a New York State trooper on Route 60 yesterday. But first, why schools in New York may have to foot the bill for a new school bus law. Dakota.
And we'll take a live look from the HD News Now cam. A few clouds downtown. Currently, we're sitting at 72 degrees with a variable wind, but there's that sticky dew point of 61 degrees. That's going to remain, but we'll back it down as we go through the late week. WNY News Now continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place. Lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
And happening now, school districts across New York State may have to foot the bill to purchase cameras on school bus stop arms. Now, under the law, districts have to ask municipalities to pay for the cameras, but cities, towns, and villages are not required to foot the bill. Lawmakers do agree that drivers who illegally pass a school bus are a problem, although they believe the solution they came up with was a bit muddled. The law indicates districts cannot use state aid for the cameras. Now, New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo signed the measure into law earlier this month. The cameras mounted on the stop sign that extends outward whenever a bus is stopped will automatically record each vehicle that passes it illegally. Now, drivers caught on camera passing a stopped bus would face a $250 ticket with higher fines for repeat violators. Revenues from those fines will be split between local school districts and municipalities. And an unmarked New York State trooper vehicle was struck by a car while attempting to pull over another speeding vehicle yesterday. Police say this happened along Route 60, and the trooper was assigned to a distracted driving detail. He clocked a speeding driver traveling 71 in a 55-mile-per-hour zone. That trooper activated his emergency lights and then started to perform a U-turn when his vehicle was struck in the rear door and quarter panel. Now, police say thankfully no one was injured in the crash. Fluvanna and Gary fire departments responded to the scene. The company that administers the SAT college admissions test is replacing the so-called adversity score with a tool that will no longer reduce an applicant's background to a single number, an idea that the College Board's chief executive now says was a mistake. Amid growing scrutiny of the role wealth plays in college admissions, the College Board introduced its environmental context dashboard about 2 years ago to provide context for a student's performance on tests and help schools identify those who have done more with less. Now, the version used by about 50 institutions in a pilot program involved a formula that combined school and neighborhood factors like advantage course offerings and the crime rate to produce a single number. But critics called it an overreach for the College Board to score adversity the way it does academics. Now, between 150 institutions are expected to pilot the new tool this year before it becomes broadly available next year. Well, it's that time of year again. Fans are flocking to couches, bars, or stadiums to watch their favorite football teams. In today's Health Minute, Mary Maloney with some tips on how to kick off the season in a healthy way.
Go Cowboys! Whether you're a pro fan, cheer for your favorite college team, or both, football is back, along with lots of unhealthy snacks. So how can fans watch the games and their waistlines? Plan ahead, work out before you spend the day on the couch or at the stadium, and don't go hungry, says psychologist Rachel Goldman, who specializes in health and wellness.
So a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to be out all day on Sunday. I'm not going to eat breakfast. I'll save my calories up for later. And that's really the worst thing that people could do.
Goldman says eating a healthy meal instead of snacking throughout the day will also help keep you on the right track.
The problem is when people are physiologically hungry and they're bored or mindlessly eating because they're watching TV and there's just food in front of them, it's easier to pick on things.
Staying active during the game can also help, Goldman says.
Maybe during commercials or even halftime. So maybe do like mountain climbers or push-ups or just even to get up and stretch.
Even small changes this football season can be a big win for your health. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
All right, Mary, some great tips there. Another tip, don't sit near the food. Experts say to avoid mindless eating, sit on the other side of the room. I don't know about that, although you can probably tell that I certainly have my fair share of the nachos at Steelers games that I love to attend. So I don't know. I mean, certainly do what's best for you, I guess. Mindless eating certainly can be something and can be addicting, but I don't know. I think you should still enjoy yourself, but yeah, watch the carbs too. Hello to Robert. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks so much for tuning in here on the broadcast. Willie, good afternoon to you. Lance, Ashley, Tammy, Sean is here. Good afternoon. Hopefully you all are doing well. Lakeith has joined us. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thanks so much for being here. And certainly we have a lot of breaking news just to update anyone who is joining us for the stabbing near Forest Avenue. Police are still investigating that, and there's not too many details. We know what happened near Pheasant Lumber and D'Angelo's law firm on Forest in the driveway of that establishment. Jamestown fire crews were called to the scene a little while ago to clean up remnants from that incident, and we'll continue to update you and bring the latest on WNYNewsNow.com when we get it. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He joins us with a look at this week's forecast, a little look into the weekend too. And later, how one group here in Jamestown is trying to revitalize part of the city when WNY News Now returns.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops Restaurant and Tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's going to have some bison in it, you know, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's going to have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story, a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Oh, come on, Mary. There's nothing better than sitting on the couch with a bag of potato chips watching your Patriots game, or my Patriots game, I should say. Live look from the Seneca Allegheny Casino. You can see the clouds billowing up in the sky. 75 out there right now, and they've gauged almost a quarter of an inch of rain so far today. Quick look at the Labor Day forecast. This is an early look at it here, and it's looking like Labor Day is going to be rather dry. Now, some years we've had very warm and humid Labor Days. It doesn't look like this is going to be anything of the sort. We got some partial sunshine. Temperatures should be into the lower 70s through the afternoon, so for any grilling or anything you want to do on Labor Day, it's looking good so far. We've got the Muggies back once again today, and the Muggies will continue into basically tonight. It's after the cold front moves through. Nice looking Thursday on tap. We have some rain that's going to come our way Friday morning. Otherwise, that's going to lead to some partial sunshine later in the day. And the bigger story, I think, nationally is obviously going to be Tropical Storm Dorian. It's already heading for Puerto Rico and portions of the United States. We'll show you where Dorian is right now. This is the current satellite imagery. Dorian is this thing right here. You can see it spinning around. This is Puerto Rico right here, and it's coming up basically to the east of Puerto Rico. The track has been changed based on the new model guidance. This is going to become a hurricane possibly by this afternoon. It's flirting at hurricane status with maximum winds of 70 miles an hour. And here's the current forecast track from the National Hurricane Center. You can see as it moves east of Puerto Rico, it will strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane probably by this afternoon or late tonight. Now, as it curves towards the Bahamas, it will actually start to strengthen a little bit. Notice how the winds are starting to uptick, but watch what happens as it gets close to the U.S. This is going to make a run at Category 3 hurricane status at 115 miles per hour, and this looks like it's going to make landfall somewhere in Florida, possibly as a Category 2 or Category 1 hurricane, possibly by Sunday or early next week. So we're going to keep our eyes on this. If you have any interest in Florida over the next week, keep your eyes on that because that's going to be a big story. Cold front has already started to move on through, but the cooler air is not going to get here until tomorrow, and but we do have a few more scattered showers to go through. Here's Future Scan through the day. You can see Future Scan paints the idea of a few isolated to scattered showers and storms through the afternoon. They clear out. Now, early tomorrow, there might be a chance for a shower. I don't think that's going to materialize, but the day tomorrow should be partly to mostly sunny, much like the afternoon hours today. Zone by zone, Lake Erie shoreline temperatures here a little bit cooler because of a west wind. We clear from west to east throughout the afternoon. Inland we go. Temperatures here possibly mid to upper 70s. Any rain ends by the late afternoon hours, leading to some partial sunshine. Next 7 days of your life coming up on the screen. 71 tomorrow, 72 on Friday. And again, a morning rain. Back to school starts Tuesday. I believe Southwestern starts on Tuesday. And again, Labor Day right now looking mainly dry. Sports is next. Don't go away.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Hump Day, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. On Friday, the JCC Jayhawks volleyball team will be playing 2 games. The first game will be at 11:45 a.m. versus Columbus State Community College. Game number 2 will start at 3:15 p.m. against Lorain County Community College. Both games will be played at Owens Community College, located in Perrysburg, Ohio. The New York Mets' deficit for the final NL wildcard spot grew to 3 games after losing 5-2 to the Chicago Cubs on Tuesday night. Pete Alonso added another home run to the NL rookie record, hitting his 42nd of the season, a solo shot. J.D. Davis also hit a solo round tripper for the Mets. On Chicago's end, Yu Darvish pitched 8 innings, allowing only 1 run and striking out 7 batters. Javier Baez and Addison Russell each went yard 1 time for the Cubs. The Mets and Cubs are back at it tonight at 7:10 on Sportsnet New York. Noah Syndergaard is tabbed as the Mets starting pitcher versus Kyle Hendricks. Later this afternoon, with a 4:10 first pitch on the East Coast, the New York Yankees will conclude their 3-game road series against the Seattle Mariners. At 87-47 and on a 3-game winning streak, the Yanks extended their first-place lead to 10.5 games over the second-place Tampa Bay Rays. Meanwhile, Seattle remains in dead last in the AL West with a record of 56-77, 7.5 games behind the fourth-place LA Angels. James Paxton gets a starting call on the mound today for New York against Justice Sheffield. The game will be televised on the Yes Network. That's it for sports today. Back to you, Justin.
All right, Norm, thank you very much. The Jamestown Renaissance Corporation was recently awarded a Preserve New York grant to continue to revitalize the Forest Heights neighborhood. Officials with the group announced yesterday they received just over $4,000 in revitalization work. The group also said while working with Burrito Architecture, they received a state and national register nomination for the area so residents can take advantage of a tax credit to fix up their property. Several sites in that neighborhood are already individually listed on the state and national registries of historic places, including this place, the former home of Governor Reuben E. Fenton. Now, architectural styles in Forest Heights include Greek Revival, Colonial Revival, Queen Anne, and other vehicular types of structures. Now, over time, Forest Heights has experienced differentiations in their remodeling of houses. Some properties have even become condemned or demolished in recent years. Now, in total, New York State has issued over $2 million in grants to more than 400 projects statewide. Yeah, so interesting nevertheless, and you know, it's certainly, I think, not just Forest Heights neighborhood, although that be one area where you see a lot of those historic houses. I think technically you live in that neighborhood. I think you're off a foot, right?
Yes.
So,
I actually live on the south side of town, so I think technically I would be in Forest Heights. I'm not 100% certain on that.
But a lot of houses, and you see it in your neighborhood, aren't in the best shape and are run down, some of which condemned. And
some of them are absolutely beautiful, and then you go 2 houses down, and then there's a house that hasn't been maintained in 40 years.
So if you see Dakota's house, it's absolutely beautiful because he's always out there mowing that lawn. I tell you, you know, it's like you're one of those neighbors, right, where you trip if you mow your lawn, the neighbor next door starts to mow, and the guy across the street.
Well,
seems to be like a domino.
Well, you know, we have a running joke in the family that, you know, if we go to a restaurant, we usually go when it's quiet and there's nobody there, and then after we go there, we just see the influx of everybody coming in to eat.
You're a trendsetter.
Yeah.
You're a trendsetter. What do you
I don't.
say?
Well, you know, I don't mow. I just have my, have my gardener and my maid do all that stuff.
Oh, of course you do.
Yes. Of course. Green only M&Ms in the green room, please. Let's take a look at first of all, one more time, quick look at the Labor Day forecast. It's looking mainly dry. Temperatures lower to mid 70s through the afternoon. Here comes the 7-day, and again, rain Friday, mainly in the morning, dries out for the afternoon, and school starts for Southwestern next Tuesday.
All right, so get ready for that, Dakota. Thank you
You're welcome.
very much. Hopefully. It looks like right now we'll have a nice Labor Day, so everyone's probably trying to get ready for those fireworks.
And it's looking like everything will go off just fine so far.
Cool, good deal, good. Well, we'll keep monitoring that. So
Indeed.
Thank you, Dakota. We leave you with a live look over the DoubleTree camera here in downtown
I've seen a few raindrops already starting to fall.
Yeah, it does look a little wet out there. Of course, if you missed anything we talked about, no worries. You can stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. It's free right now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Also, you can watch this broadcast 24/7 on the mobile app or right here on Facebook. It'll loop as soon as our Facebook Live ends. So I want to wish a happy day to Renee. Hopefully you have a good one. Cindy, thanks for tuning in. Mike, Corey, let's see here. Amy and Kyle is here as well. Joanna, hopefully you are doing well. She says it's raining in Lakewood right now, cooling off too. So we
rain, cold air, it's wonderful.
We do need that relief. We'll see you back here tomorrow.